Hey guys, back at you again, and I have some I have some information that that people might be interested in, that's out here living here in Thailand. Okay, we just left immigration, and we overheard, we overheard a couple of expats talking, and this is not the first time that we overheard some shit like that. These expats is running around here thinking that just because they've been living here in Thailand for 20, maybe 30 years, right, that they should have rights. Seriously. You know, and I'm here, but I only hear this shit from the white expats. I don't pretty much hear it from, you know, all the other expats, just the white ones, because they were the ones that actually think that they have rights. Now, by us being African Americans, we know, you know, even the country we were born in America, we don't have no rights. You ever notice when you get arrested, what they say, the first right you got a right to remain silent. You got a right to shut the fuck up. And that's all our rights is. See, but African Americans know that we have always been, you know, somewhat like a guest, even in the country we were born in. So when you get these expats coming around here and they talking about why we have to pay extra and why this is like this and why we don't get the right to do this. See, they're not used to that shit. You know, these white boys is used to being able to, you know, move and get rights and all that old shit. But you don't get no right when you living on somebody's couch. All right? This is not their country. You are an expat. You are a permanent visitor, a guest. And see, the thing about it is, they don't want to feel that way. They feel, oh, because I bought a bar, or, you know, I've been living here so long and I pay this and I pay that. You still a motherfucking guest. You understand me? And a guest is just what it is. You don't have no rights. It's just like somebody is living on your couch, right? You hear me? And then they say, well, since I've been living on this couch for about a year and I done helped you pay your rent and I done do this, I got rights. No, you don't. You got a right to get up off my couch and go back to where you fucking came from. See, that's the problem. That's the problem when you're dealing with what I call that white privilege. You know, they feel that they have white privilege. Now, that's what makes it easier for the African American to migrate and to move in another country, because we recognize and we realize that we are guests. And for the most part, I'm gonna tell you something. I like being treated like a guest. You know, yeah. They like to see you come in. They you know, you get the guest treatment. You know, when you wear out your welcome, when you start being bitter about the country in which they allowed you to sleep on their couch. If you don't like it here, go back home. You know what I'm saying? You're a guest. That means guests pay their fair way. A guest, you don't live rent-free on somebody's couch and not to pay, okay?
Pay the price.
You pay the price, and once you're unable to pay the price, once you get too old, excuse me, Thailand ain't got no obligation to taking care of some other country's senior citizens. Now, you supposed to put that money to the side. If you knew they wasn't going to insure your ass when you got a certain age, that money was supposed to already been sit to the side so you can self-insure. But they don't do that. They want some kind of rights. How you going to get rights in another person's country? Come on, man. It kills me. You know? They're double pricing us. So what? You know? So, Yeah, that was my little oscillocrene because I'm tired of listening to all these expats, whining about
how it changed.
Yeah.
This is not 2005.
Yeah, yeah.
It's 2026.
This has changed. Everything's so high.
But pretty much it never changed. Like it's like bike baht, even the tuk-tuk,
and it really, it's really a hazard,
Just talk to your audience, dear.
So, and I'm not trying to be overly racist, but the only people I see doing that shit is white people. All right, white Americans, so to speak, or white English guys, from England. The ones that's been here for, X amount of years, and they own their own condo, and they probably got a Thai girlfriend or something. But that doesn't change the fact that this is not your country. You don't have I don't care how long you've been here. You are a guest, and you should operate such as that. Meaning this, you act like a guest. A guest don't be coming in somebody's house demanding shit. You don't come in somebody else's house and they nice enough to let your ass in here. And you don't be coming here, acting a fool, getting drunk, showing your ass and expect that you're gonna have rights. You know how they do us in America. When they arrest your ass, the first thing they say, you got a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. That's all they tell you. You got a right to shut the fuck up and mind your business and do what you told. If you don't like it here, take your ass back home or wherever you go. That's just plain and simple. I get tired of hearing all these expats whining about they're dual pricing us, and why don't they allow us to get some kind of universal health care for look, Thailand is not responsible for other countries' elderly population. All right? And the insurance companies don't have no moral obligation to be insuring people that they know they're gonna die. Why they want to lose money? So here in Thailand, most of your insurance, if you ain't got insurance by the time you're 65, it's difficult as hell unless you're gonna pay through the nose.
I get it.
Unless you're gonna pay through the nose, it's difficult as hell. And then they'll just stop insuring you at a certain age, around 75 or some shit like that. But see, that's when you're supposed to take your ass back home. That's when you supposed to go back home and have your own healthcare system help you out. You know what I mean? You can't expect somebody else's country to take care of you can't expect Thailand to be taking care of the senior citizens that's coming out of England or the senior citizens that's coming out of United States. That's their country. All right, Thailand is their country. And when people go around here and they act like like Thailand owes them something, Thailand paid. It paid. It made sure that you had a good time, that your little bit of old age was taken care of. But if you ain't got enough money to be a guest, that's just like you staying at, it's just like you stay at the the Hilton Hotel. They treat you like a guest until when? Until your bill come and you can't pay it. You ain't a guest no more. You're a vagrant. You understand? So let's all that old whining ass shit. We need rights. I don't like the dual pricing. It's prejudice. Is it? What the fuck? This is not your country. So yeah, that's my little rant, because I hear that shit all the time, and it only comes from a certain sector. You dig what I'm saying? See, because African Americans know, even though we born in America, we ain't got no rights over there. We know better than that. They tell us what rights we got, and then they'll even break those. So when we come to a place where we can be treated like a guest, you understand? We know we ain't gonna wear out our guest clothes. Shit. So that's all I'm saying, you guys. And that has been, you know, just like
rain showering, guys.
so. Yeah, that was my little clip, and you know. So that was my word of the day, man. My rant of the day. You know, it's a shame because really, I think it all comes down to not being racist or nothing. I think it all comes down to what we call white privilege. You know, yeah, they pretty much think they're privileged. Anywhere they go, they think they privileged.
The thing is special.
You know, yeah, and so they get to somebody else's country, even though they done probably been here for, I don't know, 20, maybe 30 years or some shit.
Mostly they're doing stupid here too.
And all of a sudden, they expect to have rights.
Special treatment.
Yeah, some kind of, yeah, they want to be treated as such as, you know, they're native to this, to the Thai kingdom. No, dude, you are a guest. You are. It's like the equivalent. It's like the equivalent of you sleeping on somebody's couch. You feel me? After a while, you know, you got to go home. Well, unless, if your money runs, that's just like you staying at the Hilton. That's like I said earlier in my earlier analogy. It's like you staying at the Hilton Hotel. What they treat you like when you first go there? They say, "Oh, this is the guest room. Oh, this is the guest shit." When you can't pay your bill, what are you? A vagrant? You know what I'm saying? So you expats, man, especially you Anglo-Saxon expats. Excuse my language.
Even we retired here a long time, but we still, you know.
Well, the fact of the matter is, I still like being treated like a guest. That's some good shit, being treated like a guest. I ain't lying. You know, people bring you your food, and, you know, everybody's nice to you.
To the hotels.
So, that's that guest thing right there. And that's my daily rant, y'all, again. And again, you guys, go to Kindle, pick up our books, like and subscribe. I've noticed that, you know, a lot of you guys are looking at our content, but you're not subscribing. All right, and leave me a comment on tell me why you're not subscribing. Am I boring, or did the algorithm just decide that they didn't want me to talk? You know. I got a lot of Facebook friends, and I want my Facebook friends to transfer over to the YouTube channel. You know?
Maybe some of them don't have a YouTube channel.
You know, so.
Again. We're too old to create some YouTube channel. You know?
Well, maybe they run out of shit to talk about. Because look, I'm going to tell you something. Most of the times that I be seeing these channels, especially the ones that, you know, these travel blogs, they only talk about one thing: cost of living, how it is to live in Thailand. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because they know that you people over in the United States don't pretty much leave the country too much.
Well, how many percent there's no passport?
It's only like
80 or
no 2%.
Huh?
2% Americans got passports.
The pure American. I mean the.
You know.
Like a born and raised in there, something like that.
Yeah, 2%.
Mostly, you know, they got immigrant. You know, they travel.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm talking about the Native American.
The Native American. Okay.
Yeah, not in, you know, just 2%. So when you travel, if you American and you traveling out the country, see, they make you think. All right, which is somewhat true, but which is not all the way true. They make you think that it's very expensive to travel. It depends on where you're going, and it depends on how you travel. You know. So
silver, I take out 2.
2 silvers and 1/5.
1 what?
Absolute.
The small one?
No.
Oh, give me your card. Okay, pause for a while, guys, okay? Okay, that's all for now, guys. The rant, right?
I don't know yet. Shit. I think of something. She just got to do the editing. See, the thing about it is my wife want to be Ricky Rapid. She don't want to edit too much. Therefore,
Get things to do there.
nah, we ain't got shit to do no more. We pretty much did it all. All we gotta do is check in, see if I can do that next week.
See,
Get
like
that out.
this, that's all I want.
Get all that out the way.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so my wife been having a problem
Right.
with our local editor.
This is Thai, guys.
You know,
You can read English.
yeah. I've been having a problem with them with the price of the book. They got to start printing my book out for at least $1. You know.
But
They've been trying to get me for $2-3. You know, for one motherfucking book, and then I'll be printing out like 10,000 copies and shit. Nah, nigga, y'all gotta cut that shit down. So I think I'm finna get a manager.
What? What's that?
A manager
Oh.
for book writing. See, my wife been doing an excellent job. Fine, you know, putting it there, keeping me motivated. But she's not a professional manager. Now I'm gonna need one.
I got a lot of things to do. I'm just only.
And now I'm gonna need one because, you know,
Yeah, if you can manage this guy.
I've been, you know,
Very difficult to manage, guys.
getting little texts from Netflix
The perfectionist,
and
guys.
Apple TV, trying to want to do a series, you know. Call
Like,
it
you
the
know.
CROOKWITHOUTACRIME series.
Crook Without a Crime. 1. Book series 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
But see, this is the cold part about it, right? They're only gonna really use my first book, and then just use the name CROOKWITHOUTACRIME, the series. You know, it really first book got something to do with me, but most of it will be fictional.
Fictional.
You know, it'll say based off a true story. Now, it don't mean it's a true story. It means it's based off of one. So, you know, they put their ad libs in. They like the catchy, title, CROOKWITHOUTACRIME, you know, and they like the premise. But, you know, their writers is going to come in and, you know, start elaborating. And so after I get the initial check for creative, then they probably throw me out, you know, some extra money for technical advisor, or, you know, original basic written by, or throw me a producer's credit. Anyone is cool, you know. Anyone is cool. So
This is everybody's going well. So that's all for now, guys.
yeah,
Daily rant or daily blog,
rant.
daily update.
Yeah.
See you in the next video. Bye bye.